Start my speech in 3, 2, 1. The main goal in this debate is simple: to benefit people and make them realize that time is valuable and they should be able to do something they enjoy, that they themselves love to do. By this, we mean that first of all, they understand the real value of time itself, and we are able to change the mindset on time for the better, and most importantly, they'll be able to truly value time for what it really is. On our side, we're able to better prove this motion and benefit people's well-being simply because we view time as an experience, a moment where we do something worthwhile. Can be work time, it can be with loved ones, which can't simply be measured by monetary values. The other side, they can't continue saying people on their side gain productivity since they appreciate every moment of their time. They're simply looking at the face level of the issue without considering the impact it can pose, especially people who idealize this narrative in the first place. Instead, they should be able to tell us that, number one, how viewing time as money will people be able to enjoy life as it is. So a couple of clarification before we move on to the main part of the speech, which is the clashes. Just because we don't view time as money doesn't necessarily mean we view it as non-worthwhile. Opposition must understand that time isn't all about working tirelessly to make use of their time, about productivity or financial gain. Rather, time can only be valuable when people view it as a meaningful experience. When people simply have a mindset that, oh, I could optimize my time as efficiently as possible because wasting time working right now equals losing money. When people equate time to monetary value, the impact of this is extremely huge. Time no longer becomes an experience people get, but a run against time. People think that they must do something useful to make use of their time, and useful can look like them over work instead of choosing to spend their time with loved ones, since they don't view the latter as something worth the money. So now let's come to the clashes in this debate. There are two clashes, first of all, on personal fulfillment in life. On personal fulfillment in life, we believe that our side are better to prove this because we prove to you how on our side we can be able to prove that on our side time is valuable, and also how fake productivity actually happens on their side of the house. So first of all, what do they say? First of all, they say to us that the usage of time promotes happiness and satisfaction. If used wisely, they will have more time to enjoy profit and spend with family. This is exactly quote-unquote what they said to us. They're simply proving our point with this argument because what they're implying here is that if you work is simply work, financial gain, monetary satisfaction comes first before family itself. And also they said to us that this will help develop and foster nations. People will not engage with useless activities and prioritize their goals. And what exactly are these useless activities are they talking about? Because if you spend time thinking and reflecting on your life, that's also considered a meaningful use of time, as long as you gain something from it, like lessons, or you feel enjoyable. Sure, opposition can see people prioritize their goals in life, but at the same time, they feel an invisible pressure to somehow turn their time into financial gain. Every moment of their time must be somehow useful, and by useful, they mean being a workaholic, being successful, without considering other factors that can also be as useful, such as experiences, their hobbies, or simply personal fulfillment. And thirdly, they also said to us that people on their side can make conscious reasons about what they should do with their time. People on their side are more efficient and they make a decision better. People who support this are often faced with a dilemma: spend time for themselves or loved ones, or for example, pick up extra shift to get more money, right? Of course, on our side, we never discourage people from working. Rather, we discourage people who are holding this mindset, who are choosing to work overnight shift, not because they actively enjoy or voluntarily to do so, but because of how the narrative that time is money has completely transformed how they think they should do with their time. Which means that if they really want to work, we have other better alternatives, which is success comes with people how to use with their time, or as our second speaker has clearly mentioned, use your time wisely, or time can never come back, etc. and etc. But what this do to people is that they take up night shift, they take up extra shift, or they do a part-time job, or they continuously work tirelessly are people who mostly support this narrative because they think that if they don't do something useful, or if they don't actually make any kind of financial gain or make a profit, as opposition has said, they fail to use their time wisely. On our side, we're better to do this because we're able to prove to you how fake productivity happens on their side of the house. That's called fake productivity. People do not actively engage in those activities because they enjoy doing so, but simply because of the pressure, an invisible line that tells them that time is money, and if they don't work right now, they lose out and they're unsuccessful. On our side, it can happen so much better, simply because we view this as something that people enjoy to do, and we view time as something that people actively use as an experience or use with loved ones. And secondly, how the narrative potentially harms individual. This can easily happen, as we have proved to you. When people, they view time as money, they think that if they don't do something useful, it will have a backlash on them. Now, what has our side proved to you? Our side proved to you two things. First of all, we proved to you how if we view time as an experience, because both sides' goal in this debate is simply to prove that time is valuable, but which side actually proves it better? And on our side, we're able to prove this better by simply saying that if we do something, and as long as we are enjoyable, and as long as we think that we enjoy doing so, then this can actually have a much better impact on them, because we actually make people feel like they're doing something worthwhile with their time, instead of like proposing on the opposition. People are constantly faced with dilemmas on what they should do with their own life. So before I move on, I'll take one point. I'll take a point. If there's Okay, so I get what you mean here, but what we're saying is that this narrative that we're not associated with corporations or companies in the first place here, because of course when you work in a business or when you're a boss, but what we're saying here is that on your side you propose people with a dilemma, whether they should overwork or whether they should do something useful with their life. So what we're saying is that time is used in time is used in economic is somewhat built on the concept of time, because you're not aiming to teach money terms, are you? Time is never built on the concept of money in the first place, but rather time is something that people use to do, like you said, time is a quantity themselves, which first speaker in opposition has mentioned, right? So overall, we're very proud to propose on this motion because we simply proved to you how on our side people use their time better. People don't view this and people don't associate it with simply something as money. Money means nothing when you don't do something you enjoy. Very proud to propose.